When I was a young boy, I remember me sitting on the living room floor and trying to study my chess and looking at it. I realize now, all that practice I did and all that work I did, I learned how to recognize patterns. And that was the key for my development. Okay? Also, other things that I learned over the years that also helped my development. Back in 2006, I made a chess video. Not the videos that you see on YouTube, a local video around here. I studied out checkmates names. Certain checkmates have certain names on there. Now, and after I realized certain checkmates have certain names, I start realizing more patterns, what people can and can't do in checkmates. I'm going to show you in this video on checkmate names and certain patterns that arise. Now, if you love these videos, I do more of these videos, on another channel, the Chess Federation of Canada. Yeah, the same website that gives you your ratings gave me a little news broadcast, more of a blog style broadcast. And I'm doing videos on there, and if you want to check them out, it's going to be in the doobly-doo down below. And I want to say thank you for the Chess Federation of Canada for giving me that opportunity to post those videos on there. So there'll be more mates on that channel if you want to go there and check it out. If you love this, what you see, please go over there. If you don't like it, I wasted a little bit of your time. Okay, now there's a little difference on how I did the videos last time. In my videos, you mostly see was I explain it, then I do it. This one is like, I'm going to explain it first, then we're going to have a little quiz on it. I'm going to tell you the name, that's what you're going to have to look for, and then right at the end of the video, I'm going to have a test, and I'm going to randomize the chess patterns. Okay? And it's your job to figure out on which one goes where. So, this mate is this one, or is this mate this one? And I'll let you figure it out, and of course I'll give you the answer right after a couple seconds goes by. Okay, now I'm going to take you to look at the back rank mate. The back rank mate is the easiest one to spot. Now, you have to always do pattern recognition when it comes down to checkmates, especially ones that have names to it. So the back rank mate will be easy to spot because of these three pawns right here. Okay? Now, you can see this is blocking in the king. The king can't get out. And that is a good indication that you might have a back rank mate to follow. So, now, there's the bishop here and the knight here. Okay? So the obvious move would be for white, he would play here. Okay? And this would be checkmate, because he can't get out because of his pawns blocking him in. Okay, it's white to move here. Now, using the information that I gave you about back rank mates, now, here's the quiz. I'm going to give you 10 seconds so you can figure it out. Or you can press pause and you'll be able to take some more time on it if you need to. So, it's not in one move. So it's white to move. See if you can find it. I'll give you 10 seconds starting now. Okay, so now it's pretty easy if you kind of know the theme behind it. So I was telling you back rank mates. So you can see these three pawns are blocking in the king. Okay. Why it's not in one move, it's because of this bishop. This bishop right here has a defense. So the rook here puts him in check. So it looks like a back rank mate, but the bishop can go backwards and defend it. You sacrifice your rook actually right here with a check. That draws out the king closer. Okay? And now the queen can come right here, and that is checkmate. This checkmate is called Anastasia mate. Now there's a lot of things you have to notice if this mate is correct. Now you have to notice there's the knight here. That's a huge key. That a knight that can jump into this square. If it jumps into this square, you might have it. Now another thing you have to have is some kind of open rook file here. Okay? This rook can be out if there's a pawn here or something, but it has to be on this file. Okay? Now, and it has to be connected rooks or maybe even a queen or something like that, depending on the situation. Now, I don't know what situation you're going to get into, but it's good to get into pattern recognition. Okay, so now the first thing you got to do with this thing is put the king into check. That's why you have to jump into the square. That's why it's important. So, okay, the knight jumps into that square, check, boom. Now he has to go to this square. Now, you see what happened when the knight went here? He covered this square and this square. And that's going to come in very crucial. Because now there's a rook sacrifice. It comes all the way down here. And that's check. Okay? He can't move out. He has to grab the rook. Okay? Now, he's trapped in. So this is semi to the back right mate. Okay, but his piece is holding him in. Okay, and now you come this way, boom, and that is just check. Oh, it's not checkmate yet. There's a defense. Okay, you always have to look for defenses. The bishop can come here. It's a useless defense, anyways. Okay, and now it's checkmate. So, and that's Anastasia mate. Okay, this is the quiz again, and the quiz is we're doing the last thing that we did last time. This is an Anastasia mate. Now, it is white to play here, so you have 10 seconds to see if you can find it. If you need a little bit longer, please press pause. Okay, now see if you figured out white's best move. So once again, you have the knight in the key square. Okay? Now you can jump right here to put him in check. Okay? And the king moves over. Perfect. Now, this is where it gets a little difficult for the beginners. Okay? Sometimes it's hard to see after you move a piece. There's a piece that can, go through it. And that's what happened here. This queen now is eyeing this square. So if the queen actually captures, so there's a queen sacrifice instead, and that's a check. King comes in. Okay. Now use this rook to make the final blow, and that is checkmate. This checkmate is called Damiano mate. And now there's some things you have to notice with this mate. First thing is you have to have this file open. Now it's always good to have your king here when you get checked, because that's gonna come in very important soon. Now I have seen it where the king was here too. So, but it's better when the king is there. Okay. Second thing is you have to have a whole bunch of rooks to sacrifice, because it looks better when you sacrifice. I always think so. Now, okay, so what you do is you just move here, check. Okay, that forces the king here. Okay, now you'll notice this pawn is doing some extra work. Okay, and he's blocking him in, and that deserves a sacrifice. Not the pawn, but it just deserves a rook sacrifice because it looks nice. Okay, and when something looks nice, you should keep on doing it. Okay, so that's the rook sacrifice right there, check. Okay. Now the king will take, and putting him back on the same square that he was just at. Okay, now another check. Pushing the king back to the square he was. Now, if you already guessed it, another rook sacrifice. Check. Okay. Now, oh yeah, the king can't escape because this pawn is, blocking him. Like that's the reason why you have to have a pawn there. Okay. So now he takes back. Okay. And if you guessed it again, another check with the queen this time. So it always ends with the queen. Okay. And then you go here. Now, here's where a lot of people make mistakes. Don't go all the way down with the queen. Just check them. That's all you need to do. Okay? Right here, check. Pushes them over one. Okay? And now this is checkmate. Okay, it's white to play here. Now, what you just learned about the Damiano mate, you can do it here too. Now, in this quiz, you can take some time and try to figure it out. I'll give you 10 seconds. If you need some more time, please press pause. Okay, now, so in this Damiano mate, you can do it in two ways. This rook over here is actually faster, a lot faster. Okay, now I'm a guy that wants to put some style into it. I'm going to do it the slower way with this rook over here. This actually has nothing to do with it. I just want to show you this. Okay, check. Now he can move the bishop here to block. Okay. And then you can take here with check. And then he moves over. And then you can do the rook sacrifice. Check. Back over here. Okay. Now you do the mate that you would do before with this rook minus this bishop. But you could have just check, take the bishop and get it done a lot faster. But I just want to be nice and show you some nice sacrifice. Okay, so now you come over here with the rook, check, moves the king over, and once again you sacrifice your rook, check, king takes. All you're doing is trying to move that rook away so you can get your queen involved onto this square, check. Okay, now he comes over here, check, here, mate. And then that is the ML mate. For pattern recognition, sometimes you have to use interesting stories. And this is an interesting story. Back in Napoleon's age, there used to be generals, okay, when they were fighting Napoleon. And these generals would have things on their shoulder, okay, and they would call them epaulets. Okay. And this thing is actually named after the epaulet, because these two rooks beside the king, they look like they're, epaulets over the king's shoulders, and getting the nickname the epaulet mate. So white just comes here, and this is the checkmate. So this is an epaulet mate, and it's pretty neat because of the story. Okay? I actually have done that because because I remembered that story. I was like, oh, there's two pieces there. Oh, that's an epaulet. So this is a good way to keep things in your mind if you can try to figure out on stories and try to keep poems or stuff like that. That's just a chess tip that I hope it helps. Okay, it is white to move here. Now you're looking for an epaulet mate. Now see if you can find it. And if you need some more time, please press pause. Don't forget, epaulet mate, the one that has the thing on the shoulders. Epaulet mate. Okay, I hope you found it. Now it's a little bit complicated. I didn't make it easy. But in the world of chess, you're not going to find easy stuff all the time. You're going to find it a little bit hard here and there, depending on the situation, of course. Now, what you had to notice was this bishop right here. It's eyeing this square. Okay? So when the rook checks here, okay, the pawn comes here. Now you have two pawns that are kind of like the shoulder pads. Okay, and then you have right here, that is checkmate. That's a nice epaulet mate. Okay, now you've gone through all the checkmates. Okay, now it's your job in this test. I will not tell you what the test is going to be. And you have around 10 seconds. I'm counting in my head around 10 seconds for you to figure it out. If you do need more time, please press pause. Okay? I do mention it every single time I do it, and I hope you can, you know, figure out those checkmates that we just did. And if you get some if we can get some information on pattern recognition, you know, getting the information inside your head, then you'll be able to play it on the board. It's what you'll be able to put in is what you're able to take out. That is a good piece of advice on chess. Hello. On the test, I will not tell you what mate it is, but I will tell you it's black to move here, and see if you can find it. I will give you 10 seconds. If you need some more time, please press pause. Okay, now it's black to move here. I didn't remember if I said that to you. Okay, if I didn't say it, press pause again. But if you didn't, okay. So it's a Dimiamo mate. This is the one. Right? Now in the last couple ones, this queen wasn't eyeing this square, so I can't sacrifice my rook like I wanted to make it look nice, but that's okay. So you just use your queen instead. Check. Here, check, here, and checkmate. Okay, on the test I will not tell you what mate it is, but I will tell you it's white to move here. See if you can find it. And if you need some more time, please press pause. Okay, now this is actually a famous game against our, you know, #1 champion at the time. Like he's Magnus Carlsen, the #1 player in the world. So he's a pretty interesting. He played this at a very young age because at the time his rating was around 2400. Now we all know his rating jumped up another 400 points from that point. So okay. Here, I'll just show you what white did. Now, if you guessed it, this is an epaulet mate. You know, the shoulder pads? There you go, right here. That's what Carlsen did. That is checkmate right there. The rook behind is blocking his escape. So, it's pretty nice. I think I like it. Once again, I do not tell you what mate it is. But I can only tell you it's black to move here. See if you can find it. Okay, see if you got it. Now you can see this bishop right here is eyeing this square. Now, that's not a good thing for white because he has no way to get out. If he has no way to get out, you guessed it, it's a back rate mate. So the rook comes down, and that is checkmate. Okay, now on the test, I will not tell you what mate it is. All I'll be able to tell you, it is white to play here, and he's going to checkmate. See if you can find the correct mate and the right moves. If you need some more time, please press pause right now. I will be showing you how to checkmate the king now. Okay, if you guessed it, this is an Anastasia mate. Check. king can come here or here. It doesn't make a difference. Okay, and the queen comes all the way over here to give the final blow. Checkmate.